What if your next smartphone didn't just zoom, but had two periscope lenses working together for more power? Sounds unusual, right? Well, Huawei might just be doing that. A new leak about the Huawei Pura 80 is catching everyone's attention. And the reason is its camera setup, specifically a dual-periscope design that we don't usually see in phones. Let's take a closer look at what's been leaked and what it could mean for smartphone photography. Huawei's Pura series has always focused on design and camera improvements. Last year's Pura 70 impressed many, especially with its triangle-shaped camera bump. Now, images of the upcoming Pura 80 have surfaced online, and it looks like Huawei is sticking with that triangle design, but adding a twist. The leaked photo seems to show the camera module of the base Pura 80, not the Pro or Ultra versions. Yet even the standard model looks like it's getting some serious hardware upgrades. So what's new? The biggest change is in the third lens ring. Instead of a regular sensor, this one looks much larger and holds not one, but two periscope lenses inside. These are likely working together with a multispectral sensor in the middle, which helps with color accuracy. The overall shape of the camera module stays similar to the Pura 70, three round lenses placed in a triangle. The main and ultra-wide-angle cameras seem to be the same, and there's also a LED flash placed between those two. Just under the flash, you'll notice Xmage branding. That's Huawei's own camera system. After their partnership with Leica ended, Huawei began using Xmage to build its own imaging tech, combining its hardware, software, and image processing tools. Let's talk about the leaked specifications: a 50 megapixels primary sensor with a 1-inch sensor size, which should help with low light shots. A 40 megapixels ultra-wide-angle camera for those wide shots. A 50 megapixels periscope lens with a 1.3-inch sensor and dual focal lengths. This allows both wide and zoomed-in photos with more detail. And finally, a 2 megapixels multispectral sensor to improve color correction and image accuracy. So what's the point of having two periscope lenses in one phone? It's about flexibility. Dual focal lengths can give you wide and zoom options without switching lenses or adding bulk to the phone. Since periscope cameras sit sideways inside the phone, they save space and allow for better zoom without making the camera bump bigger. This design could mean sharper zoomed photos, better details, and more use cases, whether you're taking pictures of landscapes or close-up shots. And what's really surprising is that these features might not be limited to just the Pro or Ultra model. This dual periscope setup could come to all four Pura 80 variants according to leaks. So, is Huawei bringing something truly new with the Pura 80? If these leaks are accurate, it could be one of the most advanced camera phones of the year. And that's just the base model we're talking about. But of course, these are leaks, not official confirmations. The final word comes on June 11th, when Huawei is expected to announce the Pura 80 series officially. Are you excited about a phone with dual periscope lenses? Do you think other brands will follow this idea? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our updates. Thanks for watching. Could a thinner phone actually mean more problems than perks? Samsung's Galaxy S25 Edge has been getting attention for how slim and light it is, but the real surprise might be what Apple is reportedly planning for its next iPhone. If the rumors about the iPhone 17 Air are true, Samsung's latest might suddenly look like the more practical option. The Galaxy S25 Edge is all about sleekness. It's incredibly thin and feels almost feather-light in your hand. But to get that slim profile, Samsung had to cut back in a few areas, most notably the battery. The phone comes with a battery that usually gets users through the day, though heavy users might find themselves reaching for the charger by evening. Compared to the Galaxy S25 Plus, it's clear the Edge model sacrifices some power for portability. Now, here's where things get interesting. Leaks suggest Apple is working on something even slimmer, a phone called the iPhone 17 Air. The expected thickness? Just 5 millimeters. That's thinner than the Galaxy S25 Edge, which is already one of the slimmest phones Samsung has made. But this thin body could come with a serious compromise: a battery capacity of only 2800 mAh. That's about 1/100 mAh. Less than the Galaxy S25 Edge, which means roughly 28% less power. Considering the iPhone 17 Air is expected to have a 6.6-inch OLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate, that small battery might struggle to keep up. Internal tests from Apple, according to reports, show that this battery might only last a full day for 60 to 70% of users. That's noticeably lower than what most iPhones typically offer, with 80 to 90% of users getting a full day's use. To deal with this, Apple is expected to introduce more advanced power-saving features in iOS 19. The system might use artificial intelligence to manage energy use better, helping stretch out battery life even with such a small capacity. Still, depending so much on software to cover, hardware limits can be risky, especially if users start to notice the phone running out of juice too quickly. There's also the weight factor. Apple might manage to keep the iPhone 17 Air around 145 grams, even lighter than the Galaxy S25 Edge by about 18 grams. On the back, it's expected to feature a single 48-megapixel camera using a 1-bar 1.56-inch sensor, which is the same sensor size found in the Galaxy S25 Edge. However, Samsung gives users a lot more flexibility with a 200-megapixel main camera and additional lenses for telephoto and ultra-wide shots. Apple, on the other hand, may only offer a 2x zoom through smart cropping, similar to what it did on previous models. The front camera is said to be 12 megapixels. To keep everything this slim, Apple may also skip some common features. There are rumors it might not have a physical SIM card slot, and stereo speakers could be removed as well. These small cuts show how much Apple is willing to trade off just to make this phone as thin and light as possible. Price-wise, the iPhone 17 Air might actually be cheaper than expected. Early talk suggests it could come in under $1,000, which would be a slightly more competitive price than usual for Apple. That could help attract people who are curious about the new design, even if it means giving up certain features. Apple is expected to reveal the iPhone 17 Air later this year, and it will definitely get people talking. It's bold and stylish, but it may come at the cost of everyday usability. On the other hand, the Galaxy S25 Edge might look like a better balanced phone. It still manages to be slim while offering more battery life, stronger camera options, and fewer missing features. So, which would you pick? A thinner phone that looks great but might not last all day, or a slightly thicker one that gives you more to work with? Let us know in the comments.
Can you believe Samsung is bringing something back after 5 whole years? Yes, it's finally happening. For the first time since 2020, Samsung is preparing a major 2.5 version of One UI, and that tells us a lot about the upcoming Galaxy S26 series. A recent leak confirms that One UI 8.5 is in development. This news comes directly from the code of the current One UI 8 software, which is based on Android 16. It's expected to launch first with the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Flip 7, but the mention of One UI 8.5 confirms what's coming next for the S26 series. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, Samsung usually rolls out small updates like 8.1 or 8.0.1, nothing major. But a 0.5 update usually brings bigger and more meaningful changes. The last time this happened was back in 2020 with the Galaxy Note 20 series. So, if Samsung is bringing it back now, there's likely something big planned for the Galaxy S26 series. And one major reason could be Galaxy AI. Samsung was one of the first brands to really go big on AI features in smartphones. And now, it looks like they're going even further. If One UI 8.5 includes major AI upgrades, then the Galaxy S26 could be packed with smart new tools that go beyond anything we've seen so far. And speaking of upgrades, let's talk power. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to come with Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2, and the latest leaks suggest this chip is going to be a beast. Compared to the S25 Ultra, the S26 Ultra could get a 30% boost in GPU performance and a 25% CPU boost, thanks to some serious memory upgrades. The graphics memory is moving from 12 megabytes to 16 megabytes, which means better gaming, faster rendering, and overall smoother performance. Even more exciting, this new